goal in life was to be an actor. And so I went to acting school. I spent some time in New York City at the New York Film Academy. It was kind of weird, you know. You ever been into an acting class before, Jeff?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, they have exercises that are kind of fucked up sometimes, and there was one in particular that kind of turned me off. The one where we had to all walk around the room and pretend we were an animal, and so I got assigned like a giraffe. There was like 8 people walking around the room with like animals. I'm like, fuck this shit. This is just too weird, and so kind of just bailed out of there. So I gave the acting gig a run for a little bit.
And did you ever was there ever a time like have you stand up or some other stuff like in the acting? Did you ever go with your voice and sort of really dive into a character or do a scare? You never really had that opportunity in those scenarios that made sense. Like, did you ever like?
I never did like stand up and specifically. I never did. I had a lot of fear for some reason. The fear is like I had fear of going on stage. I would sign up. I would go to certain like comedy clubs and shit, sign up, and like my name would get closer. I'd just like run away like pussy. I just had fear for some reason. But I think fear goes away with, you know, when you get a little bit more confident. And so I think we have along the way. And so the question is though, would I do stand up right now? I don't know. Would I, Scooty? Yeah. I mean, I think the easiest one is baseball because it's a little bit slower. In baseball, you can be like, here's it's easier, at least for me, because I'm not like a real fucking commentator.
Right.
Like, let's just be honest here, guys. But you know, because baseball's easy. Baseball's like 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that is high and outside for a ball. Beautiful day here at ONeill Stadium. Bob Menery, like it's slower. Football, obviously a little bit faster. Hockey is impossible. I mean, that's why I admire Doc Emmerich, who I believe is the best. You know, the guy that's like, Krejci, back to this guy, fires on the right side, like that guy, and he's nonstop. It's like he's just railing lines of like blow up in his fucking thing. And
all that game online, like just absolute nonstop. You're right. Baseball seems right up your.
I would do football though. Football would be sick, but the fans have to be there. Imagine doing it in an empty stadium and like having it just must be so weird. Yeah, it's like hard explaining that to girls, like that I'm like trying to pursue dating or, you know, girl I'm currently with. I'm like, hey, listen, at any given time, I'm going to get up. I'm going to probably order it like an Uber, have the Uber driver get outside of the car, wait outside the car while I do my in the booth. That's where I feel most comfortable doing it, is in the car. It's where I started doing these clips because I would have to, my dad and mom at 28 years old didn't want me to keep yelling obscenities because the neighbors were very close. And so I had to go down to his car, shut the door, and be like, well, his dick fell off and his arm flew off his body. Wow, Peter, that's unbelievable. And so, yeah.
And you will, how many times do you actually call an Uber and use that as your studio for a live clip? You will do that?
Oh, a lot. Like a lot. Yeah, a lot. I mean, if I don't have like tons of times, like I'll just call the Uber. And the Uber, it's so funny. Like every interaction is the same. He gets there, he's like, hello, Mr. Menery, nice to see you. And because you got to order like an Uber Black to be able to do that. You got to get the big SUV because like you just have a normal Uber X pull up. They're like something shady's going on, like, you know, so I'll be like, yeah, sir, I have to make a call. Can you please just wait outside the car? I'm going to take care of you. Just wait outside the car. And like normally I'm in a frantic mood because obviously you want to be the first one to get it out because the numbers do better. If you're like a big moment happens,
makes sense.
You're the first one to be out there. That's good. So that's why, you know, I'll jump up from a dinner table and for 10 minutes and do that.
So you order the car, you ask the guy to stay outside of the car while you're in the car doing this. And then
well, first of all, I don't want him in there. It would be weird as fuck. Like he's just like
but like he's got, I mean, it's also weird for him, probably he's never heard that request most likely, and he might think you're trying to grab the car.
No, well, that's the thing. There's definitely like sometimes like no, what are you talking about? No, I'm like, listen, all right, here's $100. Just get out of the car and go stand over there. Like they're literally but I've never been said no to. I've always convinced.
Do you have to big time him ever? Do you have to show him your IG page?
No, I haven't had to, and I don't think like Uber driver would care.
They might not get it. Yeah.
They might not get it. So I knew I had the voice. I would do it in high school, like fucking with people. The first time I remember memory I have of like doing it was I was sitting with my buddy in the car, and it was like senior year, I think, and there was this older lady in the car next to us, and we had our windows rolled down, both of us, and I just randomly like broke into like ends like Tom Brady, or it wasn't Brady then. I mean, who was it? Fucking 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I would do that, just make up some spoofy kind of thing with my voice and just fuck with the lady, and that was the first memory I have of doing it. But the moment of going viral actually happened was it was 2 a.m. I was on a music video set for my buddy, and we ended up, some guy took out his phone, just recorded me doing that shtick where I'm like, doing my shtick, and I woke up the next day and it was like I thought somebody died because my phone was like going off. And I
Right.
guess I had experienced going viral, which was first picked up by Bro Bible, I think was the first media outlet to just kind of grab it. And then from there, kind of just spread on its own.
So you're doing caddy work. You're sort of just, you're hanging out, you're in the zone, doing whatever. And then next thing you know, you go viral. Was it literally like overnight? Did you like, I got to get, I saw again, an interview, you're talking about managers, agents, people calling you to like do stuff. Was it instant? Like, was it just like instantly like, I'm in business, like this is real? Or did it take a little bit of time to know that you had something really special? Cause like people go viral doesn't mean they, they're getting gigs or they're going to
Right.
have
Or they keep
career.
like, sustain it, like
Right.
those people. Yeah. I think that what I was good at was there was a certain point where I hit like something like a light switch just went off in my head. Like after the video went viral, two things could have happened. You could have fallen off the map and never been heard of again. Or what I decided to do was start like social media accounts and really focusing on like where the world and all the eyeballs are at right now. It's all this shit. You can use your platform for so many ways to generate revenue. I mean, I think what we're not doing as well as we should be doing is we could be hitting the YouTube world a little bit harder. I just, for me personally, like the vlogging thing, it's just everybody's like, oh, you should do vlogs. You do all these cool things. You're playing golf with Steph Curry. You have your own race car, NASCAR that you got. You got, all this stuff. I just, I get a little, I just don't want a camera like in my face the whole entire time. Like I want to feel like I kind of live it. I like to just capture it from my thing real quick and I'm out.
I'm totally with you because that same sort of thing. I do, YouTube highlights. I also do some vlogging, but it is kind of like when you're in these moments in these spots, it's kind of like, you're with your close friends or people that also are the coolest stuff is the stuff where the guys, that you're with are they're private. You're trying to have a moment. Yeah, you got your YouTube. They're on guard. Maybe they're at the drink and they shouldn't, and they're a big figure, and it's or whatever. Are people they don't want to show that. It is kind of awkward, right? Like
I think it just first. Yeah, exactly. That's the mentality that I have as well. It's like you to somebody really you don't never know if somebody wants a camera in their face as well. So it's just like I just don't want to deal with it. But there's other ways. Our merch is a big part of our business. Obviously, we have other stuff that comes from like a big following. Like we got the Buffalo Wild Wings deal, which is awesome. We're building a relationship with like Monster Energy. We're doing a partnership with PointsBet, which is the gambling company that is, I think it's Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Jersey right now, 4 states that is legal. So we kind of are going on a tour, hopefully upcoming in the next few weeks, abiding by all coronavirus regulations, obviously.
Right.
I've had 77,000 tests. I could have bought fucking 2 jet skis with the amount of corona tests I've had. And guess what? Big surprise. All of them came up negative. Can you believe it?
Somewhere you said that your favorite person interviewed is Robert ONeill. Is that true, or still is that like one of your best?
Yeah, Robert ONeill. I like the guy. Like, I mean, Dakota Meyer, the Medal of Honor recipient, was great. He had a great story.
That's who killed
literally
Osama bin Laden.
So actually, Robert ONeill was the one who put 3 bullets in bin Laden's head, which was just cool. And I met Robert in New York City. We went to UFC together it was the first fight that we went to. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and he was with his wife. And I never felt so safe in my life as Dakota Meyer walks in, and then I have the man on my left who killed Osama bin Laden, and I have the man that President Barack Obama awarded the Medal of Honor to. And I kept making the mistake of saying, dude, I cannot believe you won the Medal of Honor. He's like, yeah, you don't really win the Medal of Honor. It's not something you win. You get awarded it. So I'm like, all right, got that.
We'll
we just went out. Robert loves to turn one up too. So those SEALs are fucking crazy ass, badass motherfuckers. And they know how to rage too.
Most memorable moment on your podcast? Did you ever something that just kind of blew your mind, or in the moment you couldn't do it? Like, I'm
Timmy,
glad we're not live.
Yes, when Timmy bounced back was absolutely fucking hammered for the Ryan Lochte interview. Ryan Lochte was the guy for the swimmer, I think Olympian gold medalist. He also did that stuff in Brazil though that he kind of got in a little bit of trouble for. And I had to talk to his agents for like 2 hours, being like, "This is a very professionally run thing. We're going to buy the books, blah 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 blah." And then told Timmy like, "Hey, last minute on Sunday we have this interview we have to do," and he got absolutely fucking hammered before it. And so I got him before we're going to the interview. Just got done telling this agent guy that everything's gonna be buttoned up like really well. We show up, and I'm like, please, like, let's have this go smoothly. And I'm like, I hope nobody's here in the studio. I walk in and fucking Spider-Man's right there. Tobey Maguire's just chilling in there. And Kevin Conley, who was our producer at the time. And I was just like, Kevin, we have an issue. Timmy is blasted. He's like, what do you want to do? You want to keep him in the interview? I'm like, kind of do. And so Timmy had thought that Ryan fucked his ex-girlfriend and was just hell-bent on that, and I think he probably did, which is hilarious. So they got in the room, and Timmy just went nuclear. In the clip online, dude, it's the funniest fucking thing you'll ever see, and Ryan is so uncomfortable. And Ryan's the man, dude. He's like, talk about a kid who just like dealt with such a hard situation with after what had happened, just the shit he took for that, and how he's bounced back with family and all that. But Timmy was lit up for that interview, and it was classic. So that was my favorite moment.
That's on the internet. You can see him going.
Oh, dude, I will. I just don't know where it is, but it's buried somewhere. But I can find it.
I've known Ryan a long time, and I could see how that could get. Actually, in Brazil, I remember during the Olympics when that happened. That was definitely a big deal. That thing really blew up.
That blew up big.
That thing did go up.